Hello, I'm Jack from TheJackSmit.com, and what the hell happened? We're doing this unedited, raw, because in an hour from now I'm going to be back doing the Ripped Ticket Review podcast with my old mate Dan Carver. You'll be able to watch that on Facebook from 3 o'clock UK time, if this hasn't been uploaded before then, or here on the TheJackSmit YouTube channel later this evening. But with news that broke over the weekend, I thought I had to mention it in some capacity. There was a story that broke in the Telegraph on Friday night regarding the UK cinema window, and that's something we've talked about quite a lot here on the TheJackSmit YouTube channel. Dogs in the background. We have talked about the theatrical window a lot, especially on Talking Smit About Film, and the news broke on Friday through the Telegraph's Robbie Collin that window is going to change. I'm going to quote the article verbatim here. It's Robbie Collin understands that an agreement has been reached that when the current lockdown eases, the theatrical window in the UK will narrow by about 66%. This is the exclusive window in which films will play cinemas before they go on demand to DVD, to home video. These are some really important windows in time. Going forward, there will only be a 31-day gap between film, cinema, and home debuts, or in the case of major blockbusters like your Bonds, your Avengers, your Black Widows, 45 days. This is an absolute game changer. Because it means cinemas are going to have a lot of new output when they reopen, which we reckon is going to be the May bank holiday. Card subject to Corona, of course. It means that films are going to get those sought-after saturation releases, which the industry are wanting. They have loved putting their movies out on the big screen. And yeah, last year was last year, but I think the industry can look with a bit more optimism now, because you've got that communal experience. I mean, if the rumblings are true, then they're touting maybe July is the earliest that we can get full audiences back in. Again, card subject to Corona. But the window is safe. More films will be available on demand. So something like Pixie, which is going to be out on DVD and Blu-ray on March the 5th. And we reviewed it in the last Talking Smit About Film podcast that we did on New Year's Eve. If you haven't watched that, there'll be a link somewhere either just over here and suggested, or probably on the cards at the end. But importantly, the window is safe. The window is safe, and the on-demand future is a bit more certain. Not everything will go on demand. Some will stick to the usual 16 weeks. But where the complication lies, if the distributors go down the route of PVOD, how much are they going to charge? Because you can't really logically charge more than a cinema ticket now that this window is a thing. Wonder Woman 84 over here costs around 15 quid, which is the upper end of cinema pricing for mainstream cinemas. I know I've made a joke 100 different times before, but there is a cinema in London that charges 40 quid a ticket, and yeah, it might be on Leicester Square, but that is Leicester Square. People are like paying around 8-9 quid a ticket. We don't want to be charging too much more than that for on demand. And even then, it's going to be buy to rent rather than just own the damn thing. But another important thing that Robbie Collin mentions is that this will benefit the small, more independent releases that generally don't get a look in at cinema level. There are a lot of films that cinemas say no to because they know they're just not going to turn a profit. So something like Pixie, for example. I mentioned Pixie a lot, but that is the perfect example of a film that got lucky. It wouldn't have done that well in a pre-COVID landscape, but as it was one of the only films that were out in cinemas at the time, it did a lot better than anyone thought. It did a lot better than anyone had any right to expect. And yet, here it is, slumming out, waiting for a DVD release. So this new window is going to be a game changer. To put it into perspective, should No Time to Die hold its new October release date? Because, again, first time I've mentioned it on the channel, because No Time to Die has moved to October 8th, if you've been living under a rock for the last 2 weeks. If No Time to Die makes its October release date, it will be out on DVD this side of Christmas, which is a big win in my eyes, because you have the choice. If you don't feel comfortable heading back to cinema yet, it'll be out on DVD within 45 days. If you do feel confident watching it on a big screen, and I know I will be, because, I was there on the first day back open in August. For those of you who are confident going back to watch it on the big screen, you will have the choice, and importantly, you will be able to you'll be able to actually support the industry a little bit more, because that whole PVOD thing, of course, it opens it up to the risk of piracy a little bit more, and we don't like that here at TheJackSmit Ventures. We do not like that at all. We want you paying for your films, because this industry needs all the help it can get. But it's my understanding that all of the major chains have agreed to these new windows. View have agreed to it. Odeon and Cineworld, I think they might have taken a bit more persuasion, knowing their whole views on that topic. We mentioned it in a journal last series, about how they were all bickering around the 16-week window, but they seem to have come to a unanimous agreement regarding this whole topic. And of course, with every film making a bulk of its money in the first 4 weeks, it's a win for customers, it's a win for the studios, it's a win for the industry. Now we can just turn our attention to planning for a successful and safe reopening and getting people back in cinema, because we've all missed it. We had that little glimpse of hope back in July and August when we got UK sites back open, when we got Tenet, we got Bill and Ted, we got New Mutants. I want to see a replication of that this year, albeit hopefully we can get them open a little bit longer, i.e. after 10 o'clock in the evening, if you get what I mean. So I've been going on for about 7 minutes now. Before I wrap this little mini episode of What the Hell Happened up, there's a lot coming here on the TheJackSmit YouTube channel. We're going to break 7,000 views in the next couple of days, if the pace has been continuing to grow as it has done. But welcome to all of our new subscribers, by the way. We're at 62 subscribers now, so keep on doing it. If you haven't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell button to stay notified when we upload next. I believe it's a case of ding, ding, dung. Get ready, you'll hear that a lot on the journal this year. Speaking of, we're back in production on Series 3. We'll have a little bit more information to share about that at a future point in time, but we are targeting mid-spring for the return of the journal. We've had to completely rewrite the series in light of recent events that have made me leave the university. But we're back in production on the journal. We're back with the podcast, and importantly, stay tuned, because in exactly an hour from now, as I record this, don't know when it's going to be for you guys, the Rip Ticket Review will be back on Facebook with me and Dan Carver. Facebook.com/The Rip Ticket Review if you want to watch it live. Or if you're not a fan of Facebook kind of thing, I know there's been a lot written about Facebook in the press lately, the whole privacy thing. If you're not a fan of that kind of thing, the episode will be on YouTube later tonight, and we're talking about The Karate Kid. And it's a 2-part series opener, and I'm really excited to get going on this new run. If you've watched the last series of Rip Ticket Review, you will know exactly the kind of thing that we get up to on that programme. We go deeper into film as part of our little mantra of bringing cinema closer. This time round, we're doing a bit of TV as well. But that is then, this is now. Until 3 o'clock this afternoon, my name's TheJackSmit. That has been a little breakdown of the latest with the whole UK theatrical window situation. And until we're back with Rip Ticket a little later this afternoon, we'll see you at the movies. I have to time this because I'm effectively cutting this live. So I've got to make sure that I get the N-word on screen at the right time.